conducted in Hosur Public School last week. So why I thought this as a gift to all of you, my dear. I'm going to give the Arindam Roy Chaudhary sir's session as a reward and gift to your dedicated effort in the activities which you had in the last week. Congratulations to each one of you. Many can't join. I know only 100 are able to join. Rest will be watching in the YouTube. And see why I'm saying that this is a gift, because you will understand why I'm saying like this. So over to you, over to Neeraja Miss for welcoming Arindam Roy sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. A very good evening to everyone. All of us don't have an equal talent, but all of us have an equal opportunity to develop our talents, said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Our students of HPS got an opportunity to showcase their talents through the Science Week celebration. Today, we all gathered here to enrich our knowledge with our chief guest. Myself, Neeraja, on behalf of HPS, I proudly welcome to take this opportunity to our honorable, respected chief guest, Dr. Arindam Roy Chaudhary, Principal of GD Konka Public School, Jammu, who has crossed the boundaries of excellence with his great spirit towards his profession. He has qualified MSc MPhil in mathematics, a passionate math teacher, serving in the field of education for past 24 years, empaneled master trainer cum teacher for COE CBSE, published articles on teaching mathematics, served as the president of North Karnataka Sahodaya, guest faculty of IIM in the year of 2019-20 Ahmedabad for the pedagogical leadership program. I welcome you, sir, and I warmly welcome our principal, ma'am, Dr. Bindu, who has the pillar behind this event. I warmly welcome you, ma'am, and I extend my welcome to all the teachers, students, and winners for this today's event. Thank you, sir. Thanks for this opportunity, ma'am. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, Bindu, ma'am, for...
Over to you, Arindam sir.
I
know that you are from very far away place, Jammu.
Yes, technology can't keep us away, isn't it? So we have this advantage of being together. And yes, thank you, Bindu ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. It's not their gift. I think it's a gift for me that I'm able to meet these budding, scientists. And who knows, tomorrow one of them can be a Nobel laureate. And I will feel so proud that one fine day, I had an opportunity to talk to them. So that's what, my dear friends, I have a small presentation. Can I share that if it is okay? Okay. Okay, are you able to see the screen? Full screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, so let's begin with it. We are talking about today, whatever little time I have to share with you all. I thought I will just share of how do we actually build this scientific temperament. The scientific temperament basically has nothing to do with only science that brings in. It should be a part of our life. It should be just like one of the life skills, you can say. Scientific temperament should be part of our life skill. And let me tell you, this temperament is there in each and every one of us. That is why we are able to, that's why human beings are so different than the other animals, because we have one of them, one of the important aspects that we have in ourselves is the scientific temperament that we have. Let me share a small little story to start what I'm trying to say. In this, there's a company called Tata Motors. I'm sure all of you know about it. In the 1980s, they came up with this model called 407. They prepared trucks. They prepared trucks, and they also prepared cars. So this model of truck, it was a small truck, 407, and it had the ability to carry almost 26 tons of load. That small truck carrying 26 tons of load was not there, that sort of a product in the market. So what happened? It became a very big hit. People started buying it, started selling like hotcake. This next to where you are, you are in Tamil Nadu, and the next, your neighboring state, Karnataka, there is a place called, in Karnataka, there is a place called Bagalkot. You must have heard. It's in north of Karnataka. In that particular place, there was a man. He never went to school. Sorry. He never went to school. But what happened, he he because he was from a very poor family, and at a very young age he had to support his family, so he started working in a small little garage. He was working in a garage. He used to help the engineer there. He used to clean the vehicles there, and slowly he started developing interest. And when he grew up, he started his own garage. And you know what? He did an amazing thing with this 407. He made some change in the body, in the chassis of the particular truck, and it increased the capacity of the load. Earlier it was carrying 26 metric ton. Now it started carrying 32 metric ton. He tried with one truck, it became successful. Now then, news spread. People thought, wow, our truck's capacity is increasing. So from far off places, from north of India, people started coming with that truck and asking him to change the entire model of the truck. And he used to, without touching the engine or without touching any other important thing, he used to make a small little change, a tweaking, you can say, and increase the amount of the ability of the truck. Now this news went to the Tata Motors, to the big boss of the Tata Motors. It's a true story, my friend. And this news, when it went, they started searching him, and when they found him, they brought him, they requested him and brought him. First, nobody in Tata Motors, the research and development segment that they have, or the department of research and development, they never believed. And who were working in the research and development? All doctorates, all IIT engineers, all big people coming up with very good educational background, with very good colleges passed out. They were saying that no, this is next to impossible. So just imagine, my friends, the entire when he was brought to the conference room, one side this man who was an angutha chapa, he never went to school, he never went to an engineering college. What he had with him? He had with him the experience. He had with him this passion, the passion to do that. He had with him the temperament. And on the other side of the table, there were all people who were laureates, who were doctorates, who were, passed from very big universities and very good universities, global renowned universities. They were all sitting there. And this man, who is so-called illiterate, was teaching them how he made the change, my friends. And when he told them, they were all surprised. And then Tata Motors employed him as one of the consultants. And that's how they came up with this new model, the 709 truck, this model that came. And this model, who had given this, link to them? This person. So you see, it doesn't mean that education actually can develop the temperament. It is the love that you have for that particular subject. It is the love that you have, is the passion that you have for what you actually do, is what the temperament makes. That's why, my friends, it is not necessary that if there is a science student, if somebody is good in science or good in maths, it is not necessary that he will be having this scientific temperament. Okay, it is not necessary that the students who study arts, or who are studying English, or who are studying history, do not have a scientific temperament. Scientific temperament, my friends, has nothing to do with science. I will explain to this, and I will also talk about what are the nuances that you require so that you can actually take this up as an experiment of, the scientific experiment that you should have in oneself. Let's look at this. Now, if I say scientific temperament is equal to patriotism, you must be wondering then how scientific temperament and patriotism is something else. Patriotism is love for the country, for my own country, and scientific temperament is the temperament that I have towards science. Well, there is a connect. And where is the connect? When I say patriotism, what do I mean? I mean that how can I say I am patriotic? We are not against, we are not, we are an independent country. We are not dependent on any country that we have to fight for our freedom. And none of us, everybody cannot go and join the army to fight for their own country. But still we can be patriotic, right? How can we be patriotic? We can be patriotic by abiding by the rule, by becoming a law-abiding citizen of the country, right? By following the rules, by following what the constitution of our country says. And you know what, my friends? The constitution of our country also talks about the scientific temperament. Are you surprised? Let me just show it to you. The Article 51A/H. You can Google out and find it out. It says, it is one of the fundamental duties, Okay, there are 11 fundamental duties. I'm sure you must have studied in civics. Out of the 11 fundamental duties, one of the fundamental duties is this. I'll read it out. It shall be the duty of every citizen of India to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry and reform. This is a part of our, this is a part of our constitution, my friend. So that means having a scientific temperament is what our constitution is telling us, and that's what we need to have. Having that thought of inquiry. I'll talk about inquiry a little later. Okay, all of that is mentioned in our thanks to our first prime minister, Jawaharlal Nehru. Pandit Nehru was a very big propagator of science. When he was arrested, he was a freedom fighter and he was arrested by the British. Sitting in the jail, he wrote in 1946, he wrote a book. He wrote a book called Discovery of India. In that book, 10 pages, if you have read this book, then I'm sure you must be knowing, 10 pages he only did, he devoted for science and scientific approach. And he says in this book, the scientific approach and the temper are or should be a way of life. This is what he says, that the scientific approach should be a way of life, a process of thinking, a method of acting and associating with our fellow men. Okay, so that is what, so we should all imbibe in ourselves this scientific temperament. If we have that, then we will be able to associate ourselves what Pandit Nehru is talking about. And that's why in 1970s he saw to it. It was not there in 1950 when the Constitution of India was framed. 1970 he saw to it that there was a reform, and he brought this reform in the fundamental duties. One of the fundamental duties that that we should have that scientific temperament. And let me tell you, this word scientific temperament was actually coined by Pandit Nehru only in his book. Later on in the English dictionary it was brought in. In 1946, when he had written that book, that word of scientific temperament was first coined by him, and it was found in that particular book. And he says here, like in his book Discovery of India, he says that scientific temperament is a temper of a free man. If you think yourself free, physically free does not mean free, my friend. Mentally free, emotionally free is very important. We should be out of the shackles of being mentally free and emotionally free. What do I mean? Sometimes I get blocked. Superstition can be one of the block. We become superstitious in our country. Superstition is a taboo that we have. And if I have a scientific temperament, I can never be chained by the concept, by the shackles of superstition. That is for sure. So that's why it is so important for us, my friends, to understand that we need to have a scientific temperament as a part of our life skill. It is not to study about science, but to lead our own life, to be free from all the misnorms, to be free from all the all the misinformation that we get. Okay, all the popular thoughts might not be true. So what is it? The most important thing is, yes, we should not forget our another prime minister, great prime minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and Jai Vigyan. He was the one who added that, like hail science and technology. That's what he said. So you see, science is associated with us as Indians very closely. And you, my friends, are in Tamil Nadu. You have such great scientists and mathematicians that India and the world, Tamil Nadu has produced to the entire world. I don't have to talk about that. You all know about it. But what about the scientific temperament? Let's look at this process. The first thing, you should always have a question in your mind. Doesn't matter what you are studying. I just can't say, like, for example, if I say that, why do you think, leaves are green? You might say that leaves are green because of chlorophyll. Then if I say, why chlorophyll makes the leaf green? Why not yellow or blue? I don't know. Maybe my teacher told me. My teacher told me that chlorophyll is the green pigment which makes the leaf green. Well, your teacher told you is right, but you need to question that. You need to question that what what is this green pigmentation that's present in chlorophyll? right? What is it that makes the entire universe, the entire plant, with the green plants that we have, maximum plants that we have, those who are present with chlorophyll, has green in color. So these questions, my friend, you should be asking to yourself. Or in the case of history, when you're talking about history, we have talked about the monuments, great monuments, whether it is Indian monuments or in Greek monuments or in European monuments, or maybe the monuments which find it in the Mughal period. There are so many monuments which are made up of marbles. Why marble? Why not some other stone? Why do you think marble so strong that a monument can be, or it can be hold the monument, and it's such a big monument and be staying there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and nothing is happening to that? Whereas we know that marble is a delicate stone. Why is it so? Maybe history is there, but I should ask the question. I should have this question. I should find it out. Whether it is, I'm sorry, whether I find it out from Google, whether I find it out from a friend, whether I go to the library and find it out, or I find it out from a teacher. But I need to have the question. First thing first, I need to generate that question. So if you want to have a scientific temperament, the first thing you need to do is have that question in you. Do not set, just like, when we are sitting in the class, when we are listening to our teachers, do not believe that, yes, what our teacher is saying, right, but question that what our teacher is saying. Try to probe that, try to find that out. And if you do that, I can tell you, my friends, that's the first step of of developing scientific temperament. And that is very, very important, my friend. Just a second, I'll just gulp a little water. Okay, I'm so sorry. So that's the first step. Generate question. You should have a question bank created, a book of questions. Every day you attend a class, end of the day, every chapter and every subject you do, write all the questions that you have in your mind. Doesn't matter. No question is wrong, or no question is bad, or no question is stupid. A question is a question. Okay? Then you can find out whom should you find it, or you can ask your teachers, or you can find it out from any other source. But very important, the source should be correct. Now the next, once you have generated the question, now observe. Let me give you an example, my friends. Sorry.
Arindam, you take a little more water.
Thank you. Okay. Let me give you another example. Just think, we are thousands of years back. Let us just go back thousands of years back, where we didn't know that the earth rotates, or the earth is round. Okay, people there was, they thought that the earth is flat. Now, why is that? Okay, now just imagine you are in that particular world that you do not know anything about the earth. You do not know that the earth is round. You do not know that the earth is moving. But every morning you get up and you see that there is one ball, red color ball, which produces light, which we call it as sun. It rises from one side and goes, end of the day it sets. Now you might be having a question, why? Is it rising from the same part, same side of my house? Okay, every morning I get out of my house, I take a right hand turn and I see the sun rising. That's my observation. So I am getting up from, I'm coming out of my house in the morning, I take a right turn and I see that the sun is rising from there. Okay, now that's my observation. Now what? I need to hypothesize it. Like, is it happening every day, or is it happening only today? Okay, 1 week I try. 1 week, every day I come out of my house, take a right turn and see, oh wow, the sun is coming up. Monday happens, Tuesday happens, Wednesday happens, Thursday happens, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day same thing. So that means my hypothesis is the sun is coming from my right side of my house. The sun is rising from the right side of my house. That's hypothesis. But is it true? I need to keep on trying it. Okay, so I have to generate more testable predictions. So instead of 1 week, I will now take it for 1 month. I'll take it for 1 month. I go again 1 month. Same thing I do. Every day I come out of my house, take a right turn and see the sun is rising. So what I feel is, let me ask my friend. I go to my friend's house and I tell my friend, no, my friend says that, no, it is not. I turn from my house. If I turn right, I don't see the sun coming from the right. I see the sun moving from the left. Then I start wondering, oh my God, that means there's something wrong. Then I start doing predictions on why my friend is from my friend's house, the sun is coming from the left hand side, and why from my house, the sun is coming from the right hand side. Then we maybe come and my friend and I find out that, the direction of my house is opposite to the direction of my friend's house. So my house is facing on the other direction and my friend's house is facing on the other direction. So what if we keep both the houses in the same direction? Yes, if we keep both the houses in the same direction, then we will be able to find that if I come out and take a right, the sun will come from the right hand side. So that's my testable prediction. Okay, and finally I can communicate this. And that's my analysis. Of course, I do the analysis in a different way. And then finally I can communicate and say that, yes, the sun comes from the right hand side. East, west, north, south, we might not be knowing at that point of time. So this is what you should try, my friends. This is what you should actually get. Let me give you an example here. A small little example here. There's an organization called Ekalavya. Okay, it's an NGO, and they work at some point of time I was associated. So they were working in a project that was in somewhere in early 2000 or maybe late 90s. They were doing the project where they were using these late 90s and early wave internet had just started at that point of browsing time had just started at that point of time. And they were using digital, developing scientific temperament through digital gadgets in a rural belt. So what they did, they gave this, that time there was no laptop or something like that. They were all big desktops. So what they did, they gave these big desktop, they kept those big desktops in these Anganwadi schools. And children were allowed, anytime they can allow, and they were, able to find out. In one village, a student, a girl of standard 9, she said, I found out by browsing, she found out in one of the newspapers. In one of the newspapers in Japan, it talks about the historical background of Japanese, case that had happened, that we commemorate the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So the Hiroshima and Nagasaki day, it was the Hiroshima and Nagasaki day. That time, this article had come in a Japanese, newspaper, which this girl has read. And in that article, it says that the Hiroshima Nagasaki bomb was actually more than the Americans. We all know that Americans were responsible for the atom bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was saying more than that. It was a civil war. A civil war was about to break in Japan, and that is why this Hiroshima Nagasaki has happened more than the Americans being against the Japanese. So she had a doubt. She thought that my teacher has also told me, I have read it everywhere, that Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was not about the civil war, but it is about the Americans taking the revenge against the Japanese, who had bombed the Pearl Harbor. You must be knowing that Pearl Harbor, the Japanese had bombed, and they were taking a revenge against that, and that was the reason. So what she did, she went and told her teacher. So her teacher said, find it out yourself. So she started digging. You look at this, question has come in, observations have gone. Now she is getting into hypothesis. What is hypothesis? The initial find out. So she started digging out all materials from different sources. She even went to with the help of the teacher, she even went to the American, universities, where she could get the documents from there. She got all of them, and finally she got a good substantial amount of, documental evidence which shows that the Hiroshima Nagasaki had happened because the Americans wanted to take revenge against Japan, and not because of Japanese, civil war. So what she did, her teacher said, and of course Ekalavya was also associated. They said, write a letter to that particular to the particular newspaper. So she wrote a mail to the newspaper, and the newspaper people said, immediately replied that, how can you say that we are wrong? So what she did, the dossier that she had collected, the information she had collected, she had sent the entire thing through mail to them. And you know what? You will be surprised when she communicated that. You see the last part, the communicate part. She had a question, she observed, she hypothesized, she did a testable prediction by getting the documents, she analyzed facts. And finally she formed a belief. She formed a belief that this was not happening. The bomb did not fall because of the civil war, right? So then she communicated it to them, and finally they agreed, the paper agreed, and in the newspaper they had written her name and they have given the entire facts, and the entire article had come, and they thanked her, they sent a letter to her, and that's how the entire story goes. So what I'm saying is, this is scientific temperament, my friends. It's not that she had gone to any sort of a laboratory to do some sort of an experiment. It is not necessary that you need to apply your scientific temperament only in labs, only in hands-on, okay, only in science or only in mathematics. You can do it in anywhere. You can do it in any subject. You can do it for anything in life. Okay, small things like we have, why is the sky blue? Okay, it's a simple thing. It could have been orange, it could have been red, it could have been green, it could have been any other color. Why is the sky blue? It's a very simple question, my friend. Of course, it can go to a scientific connotation. It can actually go to a scientific connotation. Or in a simple example, when I go to the temple, I take we say as pradakshina, as we go to the temple and we take a round of the entire temple and we do it clockwise. Why do we do it clockwise and not anti-clockwise? Okay. You might say that my mother told me, or my grandmother told me, to my grandmother, her mother might have told her. So that's why this is how we follow. But there must be some reason. There must be some, fallacy on that particular thing. Okay, because of that, this is happening. Or why, when we go to the temple and we fold our hand, why does the Panditji he puts kumkum on our forehead? What is the reason for that? Why do we need to have bells in the temple? Okay, you need to have that sort of temperament in your mind, and don't let your mind idle until and unless you do not find. And let me tell you, my friends, you don't get every answer in Google. Every information that you get in Google might not be authentic. So please see to it that you find authentic information. That's very, very important. So this is a process, my friends. If you follow this process, I am sure you can tell yourself that, yes, I have a scientific bent of mind. And practice it every day. If you practice it every day, just imagine another 3-4 years down the line, this will get imbibed in yourself. Nobody can fool you. Nobody can, play tricks on you. There will nothing called, your belief will be completely based on the scientific temperament you have. Your belief will not be connected to what the others are saying. Your belief will not be associated with what you see. There are a lot of people who show magic and they say that these are supernatural things, right? But do you believe them? Do you really go to that? Use your scientific temperament. Use your scientific temperament and find it out. Why is this and how is this associated? So that's very important, my friends. And that is why it takes us to such a big element. Okay, a small little activity I want you to do. As we were talking about thinking, as we were talking about temperament, I want you to take a sheet of paper like this, a sheet of paper. Okay, rectangular sheet of paper. Correct? What you need to do is, okay, what you need to do is, you can fold it anyways and give one single cut. Okay, you can take your scissor, and give one single cut. When you cut it, one single cut, my friend, and when you cut it, you should be able to see, this is what you will be able to open. When you open it, it should be a plus sign. Okay, got it? So you have a rectangular sheet like this. You have a rectangular sheet like this. You can fold it any which way you want and give a single cut, one single cut. And after you give the cut and you open your sheet, it should look like this, the plus sign which I've shown. Okay, with one single cut. Okay, I will give you another 3 minutes, and let me see those who all have done. You can just write it in the chat box, and then we will ask you to demonstrate. Let me see how many of you do it. Okay, go ahead. Okay, I'll go to the chat box and see. One single cut, my friend. Use this one single cut. Okay, you can fold it any which way you want. Okay, let me just stop presenting and I'll just present that part of it so that you can see it. One single cut you give and you will be able to get this. It's a very simple one. Very simple one, my friends. Okay. One single cut. This paper. Okay, with this paper, you can fold it any which way you want, and then just with your scissor, get it one single cut, and you will get your answer. Okay, 2-3 minutes, and let me see who's the first to do it. Okay, let's begin. I'm sure you've started. Go ahead. Let your imagination go crazy and wild, and you know what shape you need to get. You need to get this plus sign. Okay, and that is what you need to do. Very simple, my friends. But once you get it, you'll be able to understand. So give it a try. Give it a try.
Three, four students have.
Okay, they've done already. Wonderful, yeah. Excellent, wonderful. Okay, we will wait for another maybe 30 seconds. We'll wait for some more of us. Great, great, great. Wow, so many of them. Okay, we'll give it to I think Yashwant Kiran was the first who had said done, sir. So we will ask Yashwant to demonstrate. Oh yes, Sahana has also is showing her the cut that she has got. Wonderful. Wow, I thought it will be a little difficult, but it's so easy for all of you. I'm so happy. Great. Wow, so many of you all have done. Okay, another 20 seconds. Chandralekha, you have to get a plus. Okay. See the picture that is there here. One single cut. Okay, you need to remember one single cut. Oh, wonderful here. Hana, you've got it right. Very nice. I hope you've got it right with one single cut. Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Great. Great. Okay, some more time, and then we will be able to see this. Okay, Yashwant Kiran, can you demonstrate? Let me stop sharing. Yes, Yashwant, the stage is all yours, and I want you to demonstrate. Please switch on your camera and you can demonstrate. Okay, go ahead. You can unmute yourself so that we can hear you. Okay, show it, no problem. Show it, we will be able to understand. Yes, Yashwant, show it. Okay, there must be some technical error, like I mean to say, problem from his end. So can we have someone else? Can we have someone else?
Yes, sir.
Hard.
Hi, sir.
Yes, Hannah. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. So first, I just folded the paper into 4, and I cut it into a L, and I cut the paper L in a L shape.
One single straight cut. You can't cut it this way. One single straight cut. One has to one cut. Okay. These are two cuts. So it has to be one. But great try. Great try. Good thought. Don't let your thought go down. Very good. Very good. Good try. Dhanushri, you want to show?
Dhanushri, can you show, my dear?
Yes, ma'am, but even I did as my friend sister.
Oh, just
Hannah
like
did.
that. Okay. No problem. One single straight cut. That means one cut like this. One straight cut. Okay, one straight cut. So you need to do the entire shape in one straight cut. Anybody else? Anyone else? You can raise your hand. Anyone else would like to? Okay, I think you have not understood one single straight cut you need to give. I will give you another 20 seconds. Okay, rework on your on the new paper once again. 20 seconds I'll give you. One single cut, straight. So like this, if you cut, these are two different cuts. Okay, one straight cut, single straight cut. Okay, if you
Dhanushri,
do
you
that,
can do, no? Dhanushri?
No, ma'am, I have not yet got it.
okay, try. No problem. Another 30 seconds I'll give you. Try this. Try it.
Chanmati can try.
Try it, no problem. All of you give it a try.
Sir,
Anybody is done?
excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Again, you sure, sir?
Sorry?
Again, I don't understand, ma'am, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you. Fold the paper in any which way. Fold this sheet in any which way you want, but you have to cut it one straight cut. You cannot cut it like, you can't cut it like this, then you can't cut it like this. No. You have to have a one single cut. What do you mean by one single cut? Suppose I fold it like this. This is one single cut. Okay, that means I have cut it once. Okay? Two cuts means if I cross it once again and cut it like this, then it becomes two cuts. I can't do that. Okay, I have to have one single cut.
Sir, I think I got it.
Got it? Who is it?
Hannah.
Okay, Hannah's try. Come on.
Yes, sir. The same thing as I said. I just folded the paper into 4.
Yeah, take the paper and up, a little up.
Yes, sir.
Show it now.
Yes, sir. As I said, I just folded the paper into 4, and
Okay.
I just cut it like this, one side.
Mm-hmm.
And when I opened it, I get a shape like this. After I just folded the papers, so I get across.
No, you cannot, after cutting, you can't fold it once again. It has to be one single cut. Fold it and then cut. Rule is fold and then cut. Okay, I'll show it to you. See, I have okay, let me just make a mark there so that it becomes easier for you all to understand. Okay, first thing first. What I'll do is, I have this sheet. In this sheet, you can look at it now, all of you. In this sheet, I will fold this sheet this way, diagonally. Okay, I'll fold it like this, diagonally. Got it? Do it along with me. You have this sheet. After this, fold it this way. Done? So it'll look like this. First step. Step 1. Done this one?
Yes,
Okay, I
sir.
repeat.
Yes,
I
sir.
repeat.
Yes,
From
sir.
here. Yeah, okay. From here, you just fold it. Yes, very good.
Yes, sir.
Done. After that, this edge that you got, bring this edge to this part and fold it this way. It'll look like this. Got it? So where are you folding? I'll just draw a line. So you have folded it like this. Got it? Yeah, very good.
Yes, sir.
Tanya Shri, I can see it right. Correct. Yeah, very good. All of you got it right. Once you got it, now from the center. Let me just draw it the line.
Sir, your voice is echoing, sir.
I think somebody has unmuted. Please mute yourself, all of you. Then it will not echo. Okay. Okay, now see here. Once you have done this, now from here you fold it like this. Got it?
Yes,
So like this, it was like this. I folded it like this. Okay? Got it? Yes, very good. Very good. Now, the line you can see, from this line you have to cut. One single cut. One straight cut. Yes. From this line, draw a line from middle. That means it will be like this. Not from the corner, from the middle. Okay, cut it. One single cut, one straight cut. I got this cut. Okay. When you open it, what do you get? Voila, you get. Yeah, very good.
I got it, sir.
Yes. Arokya, absolutely right. Yes, all of you got it right. Very nice. So simple, you see? So simple. Okay, so remember this step. So how will this step? I will just show it in my presentation.
And this, cut it.
Okay, so you got it here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This way. Look at this. You have this
sir.
triangle. First fold it from here. Very simple. Once you got it, then fold it the other way. The edge of this, you bring it to the edge of this. So it becomes a house sort of shape, right? Now from this house shape, you from the center fold it once again. So you get it something like this. And then finally from the middle, cut it. And when you cut it and open it, what you get is this, right? So wonderful. Clap for yourself. Great. Very nice. Okay. Okay, so I'm sure you must have got this. So when we're looking at this, these are the two important aspects, my friends. Very important words. One is called inquiry, another is called enquiry. Okay, so when we are talking about temperament, when we talk of temperament of inquiry, it is actually imbibed. The scientific temperament is imbibed in this inquiry, not in the enquiry. Enquiry is where you try to find out. Okay, so enquiry is more or less when you already know and you just want to know once again. Your teacher has already taught it. You are inquiring it from your friends that what did the teacher say? That's the enquiry. But inquiry, INQUIRY, is something which you look within. Okay, something that you investigate, something that actually you go into the depth and find out why is it so and why is it like this? Why is this happening? Why? What makes this? Is the procedure that I told you. This one is the process that I told you. But how is it that this sort of fold is giving this shape? Find that out. Find that out and understand that why am I getting this shape? Okay, the trick I have showed you to you and you have learned it. And you also know it how to do it. But why only that sort of folding will be giving you this shape? Why not something else, some other folding? Or is it possible that from some other folding will be, through other fold also I will be able to do this? That is called inquiry. Okay, where I am trying to question, I'm trying to ask a question and trying to find out, going to the depth of what I want to learn, what I want to know about that particular thing, right? And bring this inquiry into your into your learning style. And when you do that, my friends, I can bet on it, nobody can stop you to become a lifelong learner. You being a lifelong learner is very important. No one can stop you to become a lifelong learner, because you are trying to always inquire, not inquire. Okay, so these are the two aspects of it. Yes, of course, inquire is also important, because to inquire you might have to inquire at some point of time. That's a different story of all of it, all about that. But when I'm talking about inquiry, is something which is very important. So see that and it's not necessary, my friends, that again I'm reiterating what I'm saying. It's not necessary that inquiry will only happen when I'm studying maths or when I'm studying science. No, when I'm studying English, when I'm studying languages, maybe Tamil, or maybe history or civics, or why did the people decided in the constitution the fundamental rights that we have? Why did they give us this? What made them to give us this? This is one book that has been written by us only. Why? We the people, right? It's not like any other religious book which has been written by the Almighty God. This is a book, this is like a Gita or a Bible for us, which has been written by ourselves only. So it is made for ourselves. It is written by ourselves and made for ourselves, the constitution I'm talking about. But inquiry is very important in that particular aspect. Why rights are being given, fundamental rights, and why is it necessary that we understand the responsibility that is behind the fundamental rights, right? So that is why it's so important. If you have this sort of a temperament, I can bet on it, my friends, you will be a lifelong learner. It doesn't matter that at that point of time, marks doesn't matter. At that point of time, what is the result doesn't matter. What matters is what actually gives you the pleasure of knowing. And I can tell you one thing, my friends, if you develop this sort of a temperament, you will be able to easily see your marks going up. If you're running behind the marks, then without developing this temperament, then definitely there can be some problem. So don't worry about the marks. The marks will go. It's a byproduct. Develop your learning style. Develop that sense of temperament towards learning. Develop that the skills that are required to be associated. So that's very important, my friends, and I'm sure you will be able to do that. So this inquiry also plays an important role. And the most important thing, the curiosity. Okay, we all know what it means. Let us all have that curious, that how did it happen, or why did it happen? How is it even possible that something like this happens? You see a magician showing you magic. You must be wondering that how is it possible? Treat the entire, in the classroom also, when your teacher is teaching you something, have that curiosity, the tool of curiosity with you always. That ma'am is saying this, or madam, like, if you are in 7th standard and been in 6th standard and be introduced, like a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. You should you should be curious enough to understand that why a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Why not a square minus b square? Or why not something else? Why is it? It should not be just because my ma'am told me, right? Why is pi, the value of pi is 22/7? Right? Why is it something nothing other than that? Why do we say that pi is an irrational number? Why do we say that? So all of that, like, you take up any subject, and then you will be able to understand. If the curiosity is there in you, the inquiry will be connected. And when the inquiry comes, the question will develop. And as soon as the question develops, you start the process of formation of your learning, right? Where you go depth into it and find out why is it so, and then you get satisfied. And then you can communicate. You can communicate in terms of your, examination. You can tell in your examination that what you have learned and how much you have learned about it. So it will definitely translate in your marks and doing well into your examination. So that's very important. So curiosity plays another important role. Look at this, my friend. I'll just simplify this entire thing, the process. Okay, look, suppose you are learning how to cycle. Okay? When you're learning how to cycle, another important aspect which which I'm going to share along with inquiry and the questions that you have is reflection. It's very important, to develop a scientific temperament. You need to reflect. You need to keep on finding that how did it happen? Why should I do that? How can I make it better? Go back, whatever you have done, go back and reflect on that. Okay, let me take an example from here. Now suppose you are learning how to cycle. All of us know how to cycle. Just think about it. Behind, your dad must be running behind, or your grandfather or your friend or somebody, or your elder brother or sister must be running behind you holding the cycle, and you were pedaling, right? That's all of us have done that. And then after sometimes, if your father leaves it, you might go and then fall down, right? This must have happened. So just imagine you have learned how to cycle and you are able to, but what is happening when you're applying brakes? You're falling down, you're not able to control. So this is what has happened. Now what do? You start thinking, you reflect. Why is it so? Why am I falling down? Why is it that I'm otherwise I'm riding fine, my balance is okay, but every time I apply the brake, why is it falling? So then you find out that, okay, what do I conclude? That what I'm doing is, instead of applying the rear wheel brake, I'm applying the front wheel brake. When I'm applying the front wheel brake, all of a sudden the vehicle is stopping, or the cycle is stopping, and I'm falling down. So that's the reason. So that means the brake which I press in the right hand side is the one which is in the front, right? The brake which I left in the right hand side is the one which is in the back. So that I need to understand the left hand side brake and the right hand side lever, which goes to the back, the rear wheel and the front wheel. So I come to the conclusion that I was pressing the brake of the front wheel. So what I do now, I've concluded, I will adapt it. I will adapt means next time when I cycle tomorrow, when I go back and cycle, I will apply it. And when I do it, I see that I make no mistake. So that is why reflection is also very important. Okay, so this process of reflect is also very, very important, my friends. So let me do, and again you do that. So let me just take you to one of the, another, activity that I want to do. I'll show you through this video. Listen to this video properly, and you'll be able to, understand this. Let me just raise your volume. Okay. Let me just play this video and follow this. What you need to do. Very simple. Okay.
So we cannot hear.
You're not able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll just read it out.
Play from first, sir.
Sorry.
You play from first.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we cannot hear it.
I can hear, sir.
Okay, are you not able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I can also not hear.
No.
Okay.
no,
I will narrate it. Don't worry. Okay. Okay, what is happening is, you need to see the two rubber bands there are in the little finger and the index finger, right? When you open this, or the ring finger, these two fingers are there. Okay, what you need to do, the challenge is you have to shift them from there to the other two fingers, from here to the other two fingers. Okay, now how will you do it? So you can't do it this way. You can't take it from the other hand and put it back to this hand. You can't do this. That is not allowed. That's not permitted. Neither can you do it this way. You just shift it with your thumb and place it like this. No, you can't take any external support. You can't take it in external support at all. Okay, you have to automatically shift the finger, as soon as you do it. Look at this example. See, as I open my finger here, it shifted to that. See, it gone to the other finger.
Sir, can I show?
Okay, you know that? Okay, wonderful, wonderful.
Can I show, sir?
Yes,
Sir,
yes, yes.
can I
Others,
show?
we will give chance to, we'll give chance to the others. Okay, everybody will get a chance. So we'll give it 10 seconds. Those who don't know, give it a try. Can you just all unmute because it's reverberating. So you just unmute. Sorry, mute yourself. I'm so sorry. Everybody. Okay, thank you. Okay, so what we'll do is I will leave it for 20 seconds. Please give it a try. Those who do not know, those who know might be doing it, but those who do not know, please give it a try. Okay, so let me see if we can actually get it done. Okay, I can see you all are so excited and many of you know it. So let me just try and see if we can actually shift this rubber band from here to there. Let me just see.
Sir, I will do, sir.
Okay, okay, you have got Yasher. Yeah, Yasher?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Sir.
No, we couldn't see it. Bring it in front of the camera.
Sir, can I show? Now, sir. Now you can see, sir. Sir, can I show, sir?
Yes, you can, Yasher.
Sir, can you see?
Wow, wonderful. Now tell us, how do you do it?
Sir, first we should do like this fully. And we should put full hand in this one, sir.
Muhammad, I can't see your hand.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure all of you have done it. Okay, anyone else would like to show?
Can I show?
Yeah, show it, show it. Okay, show it. Others, please mute yourself.
Sir, can you see?
Yeah, Jyoti, go ahead.
That's it, sir. Sir, you're in mute.
Okay, see how Yasher has done. You can't shift it through your other finger. Okay?
Okay,
So
sir.
you have to just open it like this and do it.
My name is Mohammed Rihan, sir.
What is your name?
Mohammed Rihan.
Okay, Mohammad Rihan. Okay, Mohammad Rihan, can you demonstrate it once again? Anand Jyoti, you can just watch this. Jyoti, just watch this. Mohammad Rihan, just bring it in front. Your hand near the. Okay. Do it. Wonderful. Now teach us. Teach us how you did it.
First, we should take this side, sir. And we should put all the fingers in this. And we should do this like this. And it will come this.
Absolutely. Very good. Chandralekha, would you like to show? Okay, Mohammad Rihan, just mute. Thank you. Just mute yourself. Yes, Chandralekha, you can show. Bring it in front of the camera. We are not able to see Chandralekha. Okay. Oh, using your hand. Actually, it's very simple. I'll tell you.
Sir, I know, sir. I came to understand, sir.
Who is this?
Sahana, sir.
Go ahead, Sam.
Sir, 1 minute. Sir, can you see?
Yes, go ahead.
I have kept it like this, sir. I just dragged it and
Take
put
your
it
hand
around.
towards the camera. Take your hand towards the camera. You're not able to.
Can you see, sir?
No. Take it toward the camera. Towards the camera.
Just a minute, sir.
Go a little back then. Now it's fine. Wonderful, great. So what we are doing is we have this rubber band. Pull the rubber band and put all the 4 fingers inside. Pour 4 fingers inside and leave it. And then as soon as you leave, you will go. Very good. Okay, all of you, mute yourself. That's wonderful. Okay, so let me just take you to the last part of it. So I'm sure you must have seen it now, right? So wonderful. So now you need to find out that why is it like this? Why is it? Why do you think it is like this? Okay, so let me just take you to you. Before I conclude, let me just share a story. There was there was a village. In the village, there was a priest, a head priest of a particular temple, and there was one temple in the village, and he was also an astrologer. Okay, he was an astrologer. So what happened? One fine day, he called all the villagers. He said that today evening I want to have a meeting, very emergency. All of you have to come. Okay, so he decided to call them. So everybody came. All of them came, and he came to the temple to listen to what he is going to say. So he said, "My dear friends, I have a very bad news for y'all. For the next 7 years, there will be no rains in our village. I have predicted for the next 7 years there will be no rains in our village. So if there is no rains, how will you all cultivate? So it is better you all leave the village and go away. Go to somewhere else for 7 years and come back again." So everybody, because he was a great priest and everybody used to question him, so they believed in him and they said, "Okay, let us go." Well, one fine man, one person, Sudarshan, he said that I will not leave. This is my village. I will not leave. This is where my father and grandfather was there. I will not leave. So Sudarshan's wife and children also tried to tell. He said, "Nothing doing. You all go. I will stay." So what he used to do every morning, he used to take his bullocks and used to go and he used to plow. No rains. Rains didn't happen. Okay, it was absolutely cloudless sky. In the hot, he used to do every morning. He used to go plow the entire land. There is nothing, no fertility in the land because there is no water. Okay, but he used to keep on plowing. One day, what happened is a cloud was one single cloud, small cloud was plopping up in the sky, and it saw that nobody was there, and it saw this one person only. So cloud said, "Let me talk to him." So the cloud came to this man and told him that, "Hello, my dear friends. Friend, why are you plowing the field when you know there will be no rains?" He said, "Don't disturb me, don't bother me, you go." So the cloud kept quiet, but she was, that scientific temperament, inquisitiveness was there to know. Okay, again it came down, the cloud came down again. "Please tell me, my friend, that why are you plowing when you know that there will be no rains?" So he said, "See, I know there will be no rains, and after 7 years only I can come back. There will be rains after 7 years. I am plowing so that I don't forget how to plow. After 7 years, what if I forget how to plow? Because I will not practice how to plow. So I am plowing. My bullocks are also plowing so that they also do not forget." Right? So the cloud was so happy to see the dedication of this man.
Sir?
Yes, please tell me. Yeah, tell me. Anybody wanted to ask something? Okay, so to see the dedication of this, of this man, so what he did is he went to its family and told all the clouds that, this man, so that he doesn't forget, he keeps on doing. He's not waiting for a result. He's not waiting for an award. He's not waiting for, the crops to be cultivated. He's doing it so that he doesn't forget, so that he can master his practice. So all the clouds were very motivated. They all decided, let's go there and rain. So what they did, and the story goes like that, all the clouds came there and rained because they wanted to encourage this man, Sudarshan. So I feel all of us need to be like Sudarshan. Keep trying, keep doing. Don't wait for result. Don't wait for how much marks do you have. Have this thought in your mind, have this question in your mind. Go to the depth, try to find it. Don't let your inquisitiveness die, whether it is applied or not, whether it is connected to your syllabus or not, whether I should study or not. Don't have that in your mind. Always see to it that you keep on trying what you do that, because one fine day it is going to rain, and that will be the time when you will be a champion. So that is why I ended up with this saying that you should have a temperament in your mind and keep practicing it. Don't do something for some result. Okay, do it for the sake of doing it. Do it for your own happiness and do it for learning. Okay, so all the best, my dear friends, and congratulations to all the winners. And I'm really happy to be here. And let me thank ma'am again, Bindu ma'am, for letting me talk to all of you once again on this. So thank you so much, my friends, and happy evening to all of you. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Yeah, I was just wondering how lucky my children are. They don't know, they have been listening to one of the best RP of our country and one of the wonderful educator that I have met in my life. So give a big clap to Arindam Roy Chaudhary sir. All of you, please. Now you will admit that this is a wonderful gift for you. And Arindam, I know busy you are. I know how busy, but in spite of that, you have agreed to be amongst us. And more than 1 hour, you have been with us with telling all the stories and activities, engaging my children. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. So all the science department and maths department teachers, their initiative, I really appreciate. And my students, your interest, your passion, I love it. So anybody who wants to say something to any question or any feedback, vote of thanks, over to you.
Kanishka will give for vote of thanks, ma'am. We'll go with Kanishka.
Kanishka, or before that, any question? Arinder sir is so busy. He has joined from very far away place, Jammu Kashmir.
Not a problem. It's an absolute pleasure. I had a wonderful time. In fact, when I saw the clock, then I thought that I've already crossed 1 hour and I should stop now. Otherwise, I was in a flow.
Enjoying. Yeah, everyone was enjoying your stories, your activities. I was also completely absorbed in the class. Anybody, any question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Anything?
No, ma'am.
Excuse me,
Any?
ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Rama here. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
please.
ma'am, for arranging the program.
Thank you, Rama.
Yeah, ma'am. Myself and son attended the full program. Very interesting, and we enjoyed it.
Yeah, that is why I was saying that you are fortunate. You don't know that you have been listening to the best person that I could bring.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
So
Thank you,
I
sir.
consider this as a gift to my children. Your effort that you have taken in the last week. I was thinking, Arindam, what to give to them. So a certificate won't be enough. So I thought then, okay, calling you, inviting you for a webinar or for a small session would be a gift for them. Definitely. So Neeraja is the person who coordinated the whole thing. Neeraja, over to you.
Thank you so much, Neeraja, ma'am.
Oh, no, ma'am, it's all our, we all together only we have done the work. It's not only for my credit alone. It's our guidance of Bindu, ma'am. There is an excellent presentation, sir. We never have done like this. We have never experienced in such way. Even students, how much involvement we can able to see that. And through your thing, we have learned as a teacher so many things, how to get the involvement of the students in our classes. So that is the main thing. And the students, the thing way you have guided the students, why, what, there is a lot of temperation we needs to be create while we are learning the concept. That is the things as a teacher we all expecting from the students. So through your guidance in future, might be we are expecting the same for our students. They are doing, but even as your guidance, they have motivated and they have what we can say that more than just things. There is no word. Kanishka will give for the vote of thanks. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Kanishka, I'd like to call upon Kanishka to give a vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief, respected principal ma'am, teachers, my dear students. A very good evening. Kanishka Shri from class 10B, a student of the public. I feel honored and privileged to take the vote of thanks.
Kanishka, go ahead, could you mute yourself? Yes, Kanishka, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. We are highly grateful to our chief guest, Mr. Arvindam Roy, sir, for giving his valuable time for us and sharing his thoughts with us. We are thankful to you, sir. Next, I would like to express our deep sense of thankfulness to our principal ma'am, teaching and non-teaching staffs for arranging this event and making this webinar a very successful one. On behalf of Hosur Public School, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your valuable presence. Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead.